All right, so let's get started. Okay, and then the presentation is already presented. Sounds good. Just as it gives us space. Okay, so we're gonna get started, okay, ladies? The camera is right here, right? Okay. Can you guys see the screen that we're sharing?
Yes,
Megan? Katie, yeah?
yes, thank you.
Awesome.
Yes.
Alrighty, so we're gonna get started then. Say what?
Oh, I'm on my way to the office, so, but I'm gonna be able to, see somebody else will be trying for me.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for letting us. Okay, so, well, welcome everyone. Welcome to this business workshop for Accounting 101. This is actually a part 2 of a workshop that we gave back in August. The first part, it was more applied to the personal finances. And the reason that we did that first part, it was because when you are able to understand numbers and accounting at a personal level, it is easier to understand it when it comes to your business. Okay, so again, this is the second part of the workshop, and this is solely applied to the business. Okay, so I'm gonna pass the microphone around. So just give your name, your business, and that way we could introduce ourselves. My name is Edith. I am the CEO of Confiance. I'm an accountant, but I'm also a financial advisor. So I serve, for 2 roles. I have been doing this for over 5 years, and the majority of my business, it is with the Hispanic community. I would say it's about 85. I do have people from the Middle East. I have people from Africa, in Asia also as clients. So I pretty much just, a diverse or immigrants that are my clients, because, as a Mexican myself, I understand that this type of information is not available all the time in our language, in this case in Spanish, but also in English. We are always an underserved community. So again, welcome, and then I'll pass it around to Melissa. Melissa is assisting here. She has her own accounting business as well, but we collaborate together. Okay.
Thank you. She already said it, but my name is Melissa Molina. I have my own firm. It's called JM Business Solutions. We not only have services for accounting, such as bookkeeping and consulting, but we do marketing and graphic design, in case you guys need any other services. My main customers are construction companies, especially because, a lot of construction company concentrate on the construction and the product and their own customers, but they always forget about the office work. So it's really common for our community to forget about our office duties, the administration, all the documentation. So we help them with that side of the business. Yeah, thank you.
Oh my gosh. My name is Myra, and this is my husband Mario. He owns the business called CL 5280 Hauling. He is a trucker. So yeah.
Oh, this little box is so awesome. My name is Yang Mi, and my company is called Visionary Branding. It functions more as a consultation firm now, but we are here to build bridges between agencies and communities, and I provide a lot of work within that realm.
Oh, sorry. Welcome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry, Mei Yang, and I am the founder of Mac Financial Wellness. So I'm a financial strategist. I deal with, I do Medicare for retirement, life insurance and retirement planning using Inui, as well as personal finance consulting. Thank you.
Julie, so we're just saying our name and our business. Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Julie Torres, and I'm the
Close the
owner.
door.
Hi, everyone. My name is Julie Torres, and I'm the owner of Anita Meat Market, Anita Carniceria on 120th in York. And I'm here to learn more about finances.
Awesome. Alrighty, can you catch it? I'm just kidding. We usually eat around. No, you don't wanna. All right. So she doesn't wanna go. So what is your name? I just wanna say. Arlene, and what is your business?
Oh, I'm just here.
Okay, all right. Sounds good.
Hi, everyone. My name is Andy Figueroa. I am a business outreach specialist with the Alliance Center, and I own this place. Just kidding. I'm not the owner. I just work here. So I just want to say welcome, everyone. This is going to be a great class, and I hope that you guys, like it and learn a lot. And welcome. Yep. Who's next?
Hi, everybody. My name is Josue Iniguez. I'm with Rex Environmental. We do asbestos, mold, and lead testing, and I'm here to just keep learning a little bit more about accounting, finances, and anything that'll help me grow in my business. Yeah, she's not my wife, but she's with me in the business.
Alrighty, does everybody have then the packets, right? You didn't get one? There's one right there. However, I don't think it's complete, so we might need to print another one. Okay. Alrighty, so we're gonna get started with the presentation. So if you guys go to page 35.
Can we, I'm
Yes.
sorry, can I introduce myself?
Yes, yeah, sorry, I forgot about you guys. I'm so sorry.
You forgot about the Zoom.
Can we
Okay,
see you? Can we see you? Can you turn on your camera, please?
yes, as I say, I'm on the car right now.
Okay,
Yeah, but as
Go
soon
ahead.
as I get to the office, I can turn on the camera. So I'm Heidi Ordóñez. I help business owners with their employee benefit packets, from health insurance, disability, accident, all the complete full benefit packet for employees. And I also help my husband with his business. That's the reason why I'm here, because I'm just trying to, as someone mentioned before, like a lot of our community, they don't do the books, and that includes my husband. So he has a small landscaping company, and I'm helping him with all the office work. So, and I'm happy to learn more about it.
Okay, sounds good then.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you. We'll wait for you here. Megan? can you
Hi,
introduce
I'm
yourself?
I'm Megan DeCourt, and my company is Headstrong Counseling, and it's a private practice therapy business.
Awesome. So what kind of therapy? Just,
Mental health. I specialize in trauma.
okay, sounds good. Alrighty, thank you, Megan. And Laura?
Hi, everybody. Let me turn my camera. Hi, everybody. My name is Laura Soltero, and I have a little business of tequila. I help people to make her own tequila. And that's it.
Awesome. Alrighty. So I sent to all three of you a packet via email, and that way you could also see it it's pretty much the presentation that we're giving you right now. And everybody here in the classroom has a presentation pretty much on the packet, okay? Alrighty. So again, go to page 35, and this is where we're gonna start. So the first part is your business financial statements. The second part is building your business balance sheet, your income statement, a budget, and then we're gonna start doing the Wave integration, which is pretty much Wave apps it's a QuickBooks, but it's free. So I know that you had mentioned that, that's awesome. So I like using it with clients when they're barely starting, trying to help them with expenses and stuff. Alrighty, and then 6 is just there's a questionnaire at the end of the packet, so that way you can apply what you have learned or in what actions you want to take. Okay. Alrighty. So what is the purpose of having business financial statements? So here it gives you a more detail on this is page 36, by the way. You guys are looking into the packet. Tells you exactly why in the specific on more technical terms of what they mean. But pretty much the way that I see why we use financial statements is to get to know your business, right? The way that I say things is that numbers talk for themselves. Sometimes we are making a lot of money and a lot of money is coming into our business, but in reality, our profit is not that high. Especially in those beginning years that it's a lot of investing in that kind of stuff. So each financial statement represents something different, and we'll talk about it. In regards to that, again, numbers talk for themselves, and the way that I see it is that if we are not looking at our numbers in a constant basis, and when I say constant basis, at least once a month, then how are we going to know if we're growing or what we need? Typically when small business owners start and they don't work with an accountant, or you guys are specializing in something else, in this case tracking, consulting, in that kind of stuff, that it's another role that you have to do. And another thing that I see is that when you guys start, you think that financials are only important when it comes to doing your income taxes. And that is not true. I see that, when people haven't seen their financials in a monthly basis at least, or a quarterly basis, then when it comes to come to do your taxes, everybody has a headache. Everybody is throwing a fit on, oh my God, I don't know. And most importantly is that, we are working in our business and we forget what we did last week. So how are we going to remember what we did a year ago, right? So that is pretty much the way that I like to simplify it, that it's get to know your numbers. So the 4 main business financial statements, first is the balance sheet. So the balance sheet, what it shows is what are your assets and what is your liabilities. So what are assets? Assets, it's pretty much what you own. Your cash, your investments, your equipment, everything that you own. And the liabilities is what you owe. So accounts payable, in this case, anything that you owe to your vendors or to any expenses that you have, right? So the balance sheet, what it tells you is what is your net profit overall. Okay. The income statement, a lot of people call it profit and loss. It is the same thing. Okay. Income statement is profit and loss. So the way that I see it is pretty much just knowing what comes in. So what is your income or your revenue, and what goes out, and whatever that we take the whole quantity. Let's say that it's $1,000, just for an example, and our expenses are 500. So the 500 that are left, it is our net profit. Okay. So this number in the income statement or the profit and loss It's a statement that I think it is important for us to look in a monthly basis. The balance sheet, it is okay for us to look at it on a yearly basis because because the balance sheet is just like an overall summary. And the income statement tells you exactly where your expenses are at. Does that make sense? Am I losing you guys? I mean, I try to do everything as simple as possible. So does anybody have a question here in the room? No? Yeah? Okay.
No.
I know,
very
right?
well explained. Thank you.
Say what, Heidi?
No, I say that it was very well explained. Thank you.
Okay, awesome, thank you. Alrighty, and then the third statement is cash flow. So the cash flow, it's not very common that, that businesses use it, especially when they're barely starting. But what it means is, when it comes to the profit and loss, we want that, that number at the end to always be positive. And that is your cash flow. So let's say that in a yearly basis, we have positive numbers every month. So that is our cash flow. So what are we doing with our cash flow? Are we paying ourselves? Are we investing more into the business? What are we doing with that cash flow? So this is a report that tells you where's the cash flow going, and it's pretty much more like how do you say? I'm gonna KPIs like pronosticar. Like it's more for forecasting. Okay. Has anybody seen one of these before? Cash flow? No? You're not sure? Okay. Exactly. So it's pretty much your net profit, but where are you gonna move that money? Are you gonna invest in more? Are you gonna, buy more equipment? What are you gonna do with that cash flow? Okay. And the fourth statement that we have here is called a statement of equity or the statement of retained earnings. So typically, sorry, this report is when there's an S corp. Because the reason that we do this or it is needed is that the owner, when it is an S corp, it's a sole owner, right? So sometimes they don't do the what's it called? They don't do payroll for themselves. So the return earnings is that, I'm gonna be a little bit more technical, but it's pretty much what's your net profit. But from there, are you gonna pay the owner? Or is the owner already paid, or is it gonna pay it itself? So I don't want you guys to get hooked up on this statement because it's not for everyone. Does it make sense? Alrighty. So here, it tells you more of what is what is an income statement, the statement of equity, the balance sheet, how is it all related? Okay. So here we see that the balance sheet and the cash flow, it tells you, what is the cash there. It's talking to the cash flow statement. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it's on the way, right? Okay, thank you. The net income on your profit and loss is talking to your statement of equity, right? So here in the statement of equity, it says the beginning of equity plus net income minus draws equals equity. So again, don't get hooked up onto this statement. What is most important here is the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow. Looking at this page, does anybody have a question? Does anybody need more explanation? How about in the chat or in online? No? Do you, yeah? Go ahead.
First question.
Go ahead.
For example, on the balance sheet, under assets, and liabilities. Per se, he has a truck he purchased and he has a loan on that truck. When you input that information on that balance sheet, what amount do you put? The amount that's shown on the contract that they sold you with interest, or how does that work?
So you're talking about a truck.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
right. So the way that you're gonna put is that you're gonna put the value of the truck in your assets. But because you also owe it, it's gonna be in your liability.
Oh.
So the amount that you owe is gonna be in your liability. So as soon as you pay it, so let's say that it's $100,000, right? So you put $100,000 in your assets, but then you owe 90. You put 90 on your liabilities. Does that make sense? Yeah? That's a really good question. Yes, and then also something that comes up a lot in when doing your income taxes is depreciation. So I don't want to get into this because that's not the purpose of this workshop. But some people, they're like, okay, I don't want to depreciate my asset. In this case, let's say that it's your truck. In this case, they don't want to depreciate it, but they want to deduct the amount that you're paying. So you either depreciate it or you deduct the amount that you're paying for the loan. Does that make sense? So how long can you deduct the payment? It's until you pay it, or the depreciation is only 5 years. The depreciation, it is calculated based on the value of the asset deducted in there's codes for this. Yeah, there's codes for this. It's not that you could say, oh, I'm depreciating. Yeah, no. You have to kind of divide the value of the asset in 5, and then that's how it's done. But again, we're going into the weeds of accounting. I'm trying to make this, or I tried to make this workshop as simple as possible, because accounting shouldn't be that complicated for anyone. It should just be, it's like when you go to weigh yourself on the scale, right? How much do you weigh? That it should be that simple. Does that make sense? Exactly. And when you mentioned the programs, that's one of the reasons why we're doing this workshop here at Alianza. I don't know if you guys, and we'll talk more about this at the end of the session, but Alianza offers grants to business owners in Thornton. And what's the first thing that they look at? Their financials. And what's the problem always? Their financials, because nobody has them.
We don't
Andy's
have it.
laughing over there.
Yes, that's
But-
what happened to my husband. He was trying to get some grants and he couldn't get it because he didn't have his statements.
Exactly. And if if you don't have your statements, you have the less chance of getting that grant. Why? Because I'm gonna be blunt and honest. I see those who apply for those grants, and I'm like, nope, this is wrong. Nope. You know what I mean? And it shouldn't be that hard. We should have a profit and loss for our business all the time. And this is why we're doing this. Now in COVID, there was more grants, the PPP loans, there was the EIDLs. I know that Adams County gave out like between $2,000 to $5,000 of grants, and what they asked always is for your financials, at least your profit and loss. And what would some people come? They would give their bank statements, and people like that see the applications were like, I need to see I'm not gonna play the role of the accountant. You know what I mean? But anyways, we're going off track here. All righty. So here, in the next page, there are some training notes. So feel free to write some notes here or questions that come up, or what you feel that you have learned in the conversation that we have talked right now. And then I'll give you 30 seconds there, and then we'll go more into knowing what's the balance sheet. Okay? I'm gonna get some water. Anybody want? So. Alrighty. We're gonna get started again, okay? Era DJ. Okay. So I hope you guys were able to write some notes there, and feel free to ask this type of questions like she did, because we don't learn until we apply it, right? Until we hear a story around. So please ask, please. Alrighty. So building the balance sheet, okay? Here it comes, more technical. Assets minus liability equals equity. Another way to say it is what you own minus what you owe equals your net profit. So there's different terms that in the finance world they utilize, but it means the same thing. Okay. So here is a balance sheet, right? So it's an overall statement of what you own and what you owe. And here it shows you how it is related to all of the other things. Okay, so what is an example of a business cycle, right? So on page 43, it says the cash that it's in the bank, accounts receivable. So let's say that you have clients that you're pending, for them to pay you. That's considered assets. Inventory, investments, land, buildings, equipment, trademarks, and intangible assets. Okay. And I like this quote, and that's why I put it here. Rule 1, you must know the difference between an asset and a liability. And by assets, an asset is something that puts money in the pocket, and a liability is something that takes money out of, money out of the pocket. Okay? Does that make sense? Yeah? A little late? Okay, so. Connecting. Okay, next one. All right, so here, let's apply what we're learning, right? So what are the assets that your business owns and what is the value? So I just want you to do something quick and easy. Don't,
It's gonna be the microphone holder.
Okay, sorry, I forgot about it. It's okay. So let's do, sorry, Megan and everybody in the room, that you guys weren't hearing me. I didn't have the microphone in front of me. So take a minute to write down what are your assets. So how much money you have in the bank. I'm gonna put the last page, that way you guys could see. If you own the building, if you own a truck, what else? If in this case you guys have a consulting, how much money that you have, for the services that you offer, that is considered an asset. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a minute. DJ, 1 minute. The what? What support? Remember how I showed you that the assets, the value?
I forgot, I lost the,
That you're saying equipment?
oh yeah, office equipment. Office equipment can be assets too. Sometimes we buy really expensive computers or a PC that, sometimes is over $1,000. Yeah, you can add that as an asset. One other example that I give to my customer is like, if you have an emergency, I don't know, like in COVID season, what can you sell to get on float? Like something that you can sell that is not going to ruin your business, but you can give that sacrifice to sell that asset, so you can keep that on your asset report. Yeah.
Thank you. Is that enough time? Were you guys able to write some stuff down? Again, don't sweat it. It's just for you to kind of open your mind and apply what you're learning. Okay? Yeah. No, there's a lot of people between us.
So I just wanted to give an example on the asset. For example, a house is an asset. So you register the value of the house, right, in your balance sheet, but it's also liability because I'm paying the mortgage, right? So that can be one example. And for businesses, the property is yours, but you are maybe making payments on the property. So the value is gonna go to the assets in the balance sheet, correct? And you also register the money spent or being paid every month as a liability. So that's why it's kind of tricky. It's yours, but it's not really yours until you pay it off. Mhm.
It's always at least you're learning it right now. Let's say that you never learned it, right? So, alrighties. Anybody in the chat room wanna add something or have a question? I'm sorry, sometimes I forget about you guys. It's not intentionally, I promise. Okie dokies. Okay, so liabilities. So here is the liabilities. So some examples are loans payable, bonds payable, interest payable, wages payable. So let's say wages payable is like if you had payroll in your business. So what you owe to your employees. Income tax payable. So here, a lot of businesses, do estimated tax. So that way, when it comes to doing their taxes at the end of the year, they don't have to pay that much money, The other thing is customer deposits and deferred revenue. Don't get too caught up in the deferred revenue. It just means revenue that you're waiting for, but hasn't been paid. So let's say, for example, me, I'm gonna put myself as an example. I charge my clients every month. Okay. So I'm considering the income that I'm receiving for 1 month. But let's say that I run my profit and loss in the middle of the month, then that amount is going to be in my liabilities. Why? Because it's not yet paid. Okay. Does that make sense? Do you guys want examples for this? More examples? Because I know your type of business, so I could give you some examples. What was your question?
So like the inventory that I have at the store, will that be a deferred revenue? Or no?
Yes. Yes, in a way. So let's say the meat, right? You sell meat. You buy the meat, and then but that meat you sell it within, I don't know, a cow could be sold within a month. So it could be deferred revenue. But don't get hung up on this one, because I actually don't like to use it with my clients because it could get very confusing. Okay. So she has a meat market. So liabilities here could be of vendors that you have. So let's say that you, I don't know, Frito-Lay, Pepsi, that you could have money that you owe to them. On your case that you have a trucking business, let's say that you owe some tickets that you have subcontractors, right? And that you owe money to your subcontractors. It's considered in your liability, okay? That you do consulting. When you do consulting, what could be your liability? Let's say that you did some promotions or you do some advertising, right? And you owe half of the advertising for the whole year. That is going to be in your liability. For your business, I didn't get what is exactly that you guys do. So can you guys repeat it again? You do what? Building inspections. So let's say that you pay someone, you pay like a subcontractor or someone that goes, no? Who do you pay? So in this case, as I told her, let's say that you own the vehicle, but you're still paying the loan. Mhm. I mean, based on what you're saying, maybe you owe something to someone. It could be in your liability. Okay. Alrighty. So the next is an exercise. It's an exercise to do the same thing in the liabilities, but that we did in assets, but for liability. So we're gonna give out a minute. Liabilities are usually harder to point out, but let's just do something. Okay. Credit cards, yes. Credit cards. Now, not personal though. Business credit cards. You shouldn't. I'm just kidding. Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's the thing, that our personal expenses should not be commingled within your business. And the reason why is because if you don't separate your personal from your business, let's say that it comes an audit and you're wasting personal stuff in your business, that's a red flag, and you're gonna have to pay taxes for that personal item. I mean, you could technically use it. You could technically use it, but you have to prove it. Okay, and then yes, you could consider that credit card or those credit cards as your liabilities. Okay.
The other one too is if the actually business own you. Like you mentioned before, sometimes we use our personal account or personal credit card because for some reason we don't have cleared available money on our business and we have to use our checking accounts or our personal credit card. You need to charge the business for that. So now the business owns you that money. So you're gonna add it as a owner's investment. And then from there, the business, when the business have money to pay you back, you're gonna pay yourself as a owner's investments payment and another check if you keep operating the business as a labor work. So you don't have to pay double taxes. So that's the other thing that I see in a lot of liabilities. A lot of people forget about themselves. So it's something that the actually business the business owe you money for using your personal money. But there's paperwork to do all that process.
Alrighty. Are you guys good with that time? Yeah. Sorry, if I was kind of making you dizzy, but I was trying to see where we're at because of time purposes. So now that we wrote down our assets and liabilities, so add up all your assets and add up all your liabilities, and let's get our equity. Megan, do you have a question? No? Okay. All of a sudden you popped out in the computer, so I just wanted to see. Fatima and Alanis, welcome to the meeting.
Thank you.
You guys need help? Yeah? Yeah, okay. Do you mind helping them? I'll help her. Ajá. So, ese nada más es el nombre y ese es el valor. Aquí tendría aquí kilo y el valor de
Ok. Aquí puedo incluir mis vendedores.
Ajá. Y luego la cantidad que debe. So something really, a question, a good question that she asked. So when we saw our top box, company debt, that's the name of it. So let's say vendor, payroll, loan, that's just the name. And then the one on the left, that's the actual amount. Okay? Ladies, on the chat, on the Zoom, you guys have a question?
No, so far I'm good. Thank you, Edith.
Awesome. Awesome.
No,
Fatima.
thank you.
Good. What happened to Alonis, or what was her name? I guess they had to leave.
Hola, Edith, soy yo. Es que cambié mi celular a mi
Ah, ok.
computadora. Porque se oía más claro en la computadora que en mi celular, pero soy
Ah,
yo,
okay.
Laura.
No worries, no worries. I can help you out. So let's say that your home is worth, how much is your home worth? Okay, and how much do you owe? Okay, so you're gonna put 800 on the assets and you're gonna put 400 on the liabilities. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. Does that make sense for you? Entonces restamos esto y de ujú. Sí, claro, so someone here asked kind of the same question that it was asked before. So she asked about a property, about a home, right? So she owes 800. I mean, sorry, let me take that back. Her home is worth $800,000. So she's gonna put 800, the value of the home, in the assets, but she has a mortgage of $400,000 that she still owes. So she's gonna put 400 on the liabilities. Okay? So let's say that if we were just doing an assets and liabilities for your home, the equity would be 400. Does that make sense? Because your asset is 800 minus 400 equals 400 in your equity. And that's what the mortgage statement would say, right? Okay. Alrighty, ladies, do you guys want to share? Anybody in the Zoom want to share their assets and liabilities? Was it a positive number? Was it a negative number? Any volunteer on the Zoom?
I can share. So mine's a little different. I'm providing this service. I don't have a lot of liabilities. So my assets are cash in the bank, and then I can't remember the word. I send invoices for services.
Right.
And then my liability, I owe rent every month for the office that I rent out. And then I also pay for a consulting and supervision group as well. So when I added it all up, it ended up being positive, the
Awesome.
equity.
Awesome. That's something good to know. Because not a lot of people know if they're in negative or they're in positive. Okay. Anybody else want to share?
We are negative close to 20,000.
Okay. Alrighty. So you got to strategize on how to become positive. Okay. You had a question? Something similar? Remember, everything has a solution.
So with me, it's a little bit different. I am, I guess in the negative, but it's not major. I think it's only like 1,200. But of course, with me, it's different. It's just like the product there. So I don't consider it as a liability. Am I in the wrong for that?
No. I mean, it's still liability, Fatima, because you're negative. You didn't receive the whole revenue or everything for for the product that you sell. But if you sell the product that you have, because I know her business, if you sell the product, then you're gonna become positive, right?
Right.
Okay. So yeah, there's always a solution when there's a negative. And sometimes positive could be something negative as well, because that means that you're holding to everything on your pocket. Okay. But again, it all depends on the type of business. So it's very easy to be very general. Yes.
You were talking about grants earlier. So I know that Thorn has one, which is a reimbursable grant, but then there's also like the other grants that you said, the EIDL that has like the advancement loans and all that kind of stuff. If you get a grant, let's say the EIDL, right? Let's say the advancement loan that you've got and it's a grant. Do you put that down as profit, or do you put that down as cash flow, or because you don't have to pay it back, or you don't have to do that as a liability?
It's an asset.
It's an asset. Okay, so the same thing with the reimbursable grant, that would be an asset once the reimbursement comes back, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And then just kind of breaks even, right?
Exactly.
Basically, okay.
So just like if she sells all her products, and she still has products, that's why she's in negative.
Hmm.
But as soon as she sells her product, it's gonna become even or positive, because she has to see her. She's not gonna sell the product that is $1 for $1, right?
Yeah,
She has to have some profit.
yeah.
So she as soon as she sells her product, she has to be in profit.
Okay,
She has to have a profit.
okay. So the grants would be cash in the bank, which would be considered assets.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Yes. Anybody have a question? You guys have a question mark on your face? No? Yeah. But let's say that the EIDL, some of them, they were, grants is money that you don't have to pay back. But sometimes when it came to the EIDL, it was just a loan. They gave you the money and they gave you the loan for a very small interest, like 3.5, I believe, but still a loan. So you still have to pay it back. So that would not be considered an asset. It would be considered an asset. Let's say that they gave you $50,000. Sorry. And then, but you have paid, I don't know, $10,000. You're gonna have 50 on your assets, and then 40 on your liabilities. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Do you have a question? No? Any questions on the Zoom? Are the examples helpful? Right?
Yes.
That's why ask. Because
Yes,
that's
thank
the
you.
best way to learn. Say, does anybody have something to say? Sorry. I heard something on the computer. No?
Sorry, no, I say that it was clear.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's move to the next thing, which is the income statement. So the income statement is a profit and loss. Remember I told you this? So I'm gonna skip to some here to page 52. So what is revenue? So go to page 52. I skipped some pages. That way I could explain it to you. So on page 52, what types of revenue do you receive? So the type of revenue that Yuri receives is going to be different from the one that she receives because hers is services, yours is product. Does it make sense? So let's say that in this case, it's product sales for you, service revenue for her, fees earned. You guys charge fees? You guys charge fees, right? So fees would be your revenue. Dividend income. So this is in case don't get too hooked up on this, but let's say that you are a part owner. So you receive dividends from the business. Okay. Income from fixed asset sales. So let's say that you have a point of sale, right? And then you bought another point of sale. And you wanted to sell the first one that you got. So that's a sell, that's a revenue for your fixed asset. Does it make sense? Yeah? Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little confused. And that's it. The point of sale that you had one point of sale, right? And then you bought another one. So if you sell the first point of sale, it's a revenue from a fixed asset. Does it make sense? All right. And then interest income. Interest income, it's more in when you give it a loan. Okay, so there's a lot of people out there that put $10,000 like Lending Tree. There's this type of institutions, and they receive an interest for lending that money. Okay. That's a good point. So some people lend out money to their employees and they charge a small interest. Okay. And the stock market, it would be a dividend income, but it's every 3 months. Unless you're a daily trader, then you receive income more frequently. But let's say that you have something in the S&P 500, then it's quarterly. Okay. Alrighty. So the next thing, the exercise, we're gonna try to be as fast as possible here, is the revenue. So it's a box for you to write down all the types of revenue that you receive. And then I'm gonna kind of kill two birds in one stone with this. The next one would be obviously your expenses. So the expenses here, it gives out an example: sugar, flour, mixer, cell phone, business insurance. Think about cost of goods sold. The cost of goods sold. Does everybody know what a cost of goods sold is here? No? Okay, then I'm not gonna go forward. I'm just gonna scoop at the revenue then, because I gotta explain this a little bit more. Does that make sense in the Zoom? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Let's
Yes.
give that 1 minute. Does that make sense, Fatima?
Yes.
Got it. Say what? 1 minute. Alrighty, so does anybody in the Zoom need help? No? Okay, so we're gonna move up to the next thing, okay? So the next thing would be your expenses. So what is an expense? And then obviously we all know what an expense is, right? Anything that you pay for. But for purposes of, for example, for your business, for your meat market, you have to know what is your cost of goods sold. So in this case, let's say that you buy fruit, right? The fruit is going to be under your cost of goods sold and not under your ordinary expenses. Ordinary expenses is your utilities, your payroll, how much you pay for trash, water, blah, blah, blah. So cost of goods sold, and this is a question that you said that you didn't know what it was, it's what costs you to run your business. So in this case, you guys have a trucking business, right? Fuel. Insurance is an ordinary expense. So fuel, in your case, it would be fuel. Would be if you have and then do you have someone that works for you? Like a driver? No? Okay. Repairs for your truck. Because that's what costs you to run your business. Okay. How about you? Do you have questions in regards to that? So let's say that, I don't know, do you use some sort of software or system to help out your clients? E-commerce? You do? Your outsourcing is a cost of goods sold? Mhm. How about you? Yeah, and then because I also do like a more like a few days, so so electricity is your ordinary expense. So cost of goods sold, based on the business that you said that you have, would be like any licenses that you have to have, any courses that you have to take, any education, because that's what costs you to have your business. In your case, I'm trying to figure out what is your business. I know you already told me, but what's your cost of goods sold? Okay, yeah, so that's what costs you to run your business, right? What about you, ma'am? And do you have an idea what your cost of goods sold is? Do you understand what it is and what is your cost of goods sold in your business? Yeah. So you say that you resell, right? So everything that you buy to resell, it is cost of goods sold. Exactly. So anything that you buy for your inventory is cost of goods sold. Okay. I think I gave you an idea of what your cost of goods sold is, right? Do you have a question? Packaging, yes. If you're shipping out. Yes. The truck payment. So that truck payment is an expense. So it's not a cost of goods sold. Office is an ordinary expense.
I always give the example of the cost of goods sold is the cost to do the service or the product. And the expenses is what it costs to run the business. It's like something that you, like if you increase your product or your service, that cost of goods sold is gonna grow, but the business expense is not gonna grow the same because it's just running the business. But for the products or services are the cost of goods sold. That's why it's two different numbers.
In cups. Did you guys get that in the Zoom? So I'm gonna have to you. for you
No,
to-
casi no se escucha.
Casi no se
No.
escucha. Okay.
Yeah, he needs a microphone.
You can throw it to me, it's fine. Yeah, so I was saying that the way I see it is the more you sell a product or a service, the more you have to spend, right? So that's gonna be the cost of goods sold. I also see it this way, so it varies. So for example, if I sell coffee, the more coffee I sell, the more cups I need to buy. Just, just that, that is one of the, examples that I can give to you guys. So anything that is directly related to the sale of the product or the service. Yeah. So for me, I'm a consultant. So the more trainings, the more consulting services I provide, the more I have to spend in gas. Yeah.
You have a question? Ordinary expense. Todo. So I'm gonna repeat this in English. So he has a trucking business, right? So he's asking about the insurance, right? You pay insurance for the truck, just like you would pay for a car, but then you also have to pay a general liability or workers' comp, right? That is an ordinary expense. That is not cost of goods sold. Because technically, you don't need to have insurance to run your business. You have to, right? Because we're obligated and, to be legally binded correctly, but you don't have to have insurance to run your business. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Yeah. Alrighty. So there is a sheet there that that there was for you to write down your cost of goods sold. I'll give you a minute to write it down. And then the next one is to calculate the ordinary expenses. Okay? So 1 minute. Down the line is gonna be like 5 pages, but you can do like a general participation that includes paper, accounting. Accounting? No. Accounting is more like a labor work or for professional purposes.
So where will that go? What?
So that's another classification, that's another general. Is the same classification as you say an accountant or a consultant? It's the same professional service.
Okay.
So you can use one classification.
So for example, for my business that the purchasing company, purchasing once a month, let's say. Where will this?
Does anybody have
does that go here?
Can you help? You kind of talk about the
software,
each one of your
software and
problems.
software and
So
like,
Did you cover more of those?
like my POA fee,
So think about it, how she said that was.
and so that will go.
Any
okay, then.
But
If I make
right?
that I pay the city,
Any expense that is not.
where that my taxes go.
Yeah, you can, it's gonna be in the, but you can put just taxes in there, no? So you don't have to like, see, taxes and taxes. So you can. Okay, smaller. Okay. For example, this one looks, what puede ser utilities. But you add both.
Per year, they go to Urbana.
Yeah, sí, aquí van a ver.
Y como los cargos de mi contadora, o si tengo como consulta con algún otro tipo de profesional, ¿en qué categoría los pongo?
Le puede poner como professional. O sea, cuando contrata.
¿Pero aquí mismo o en otra
Aquí.
categoría?
No, sí, eso tiene. Porque vamos, por ejemplo, un contador o un consultor solamente va a hablar sobre su negocio, no le va a enseñar cómo se supone.
Y aquí no van la nómina de mis empleados.
No,
La nómina de mis empleados. ¿Pero o no? No tenía. Pero no va aquí. ¿No la tienen?
Bueno, también es una liability porque tiene que pagarlo, o ya sus empleados saben que para la primera semana va a ser $1,000, pero sigue siendo
Así.
pero tiene que, también va a aparecer como el costo para la
Sí, porque los tengo, ok.
también es o contratista.
Muchísimas gracias.
So I'm gonna kind of go and I'm gonna speak that way they could hear. Because you guys are bringing up really good questions, right? And it is very important about the cost of goods sold. So the cost of goods sold, it is for your profit and loss. But who is important is for you. That way you know how much it costs you to run your business. When it comes to tax purposes, it's an expense at the end of the day. So it doesn't matter. So who is important? The cost of goods sold is for your own business, not for tax purposes. Okay? Because I don't want you to get involved and kind of confused and like, oh, is it cost of goods sold? Oh, I don't know if it is. It's an expense at the end of the day.
You see, I'm ready. Yeah, so just a quick comment. So also people get confused with when they pay employees versus paying subcontractors. So paying subcontractors is basically a variable cost, right? So the more work you do, the more projects you undertake, the more money you have to pay to these people. Versus having an employee, it's gonna be like a fixed rate every 2 weeks, every month. So no matter how many projects you have, this person is gonna do it and it's not going to increase your cost, correct? Yeah, so that's another way, because I feel like a lot of people get confused, especially in the construction industry. If they have subcontractors, that is considered a variable cost, cost of goods sold. Yeah. Yeah.
So subcontracting would be a cost of goods sold?
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty, so we're gonna move to the next one, okay? So the next part that we're gonna move to is operating expenses. And this is the part that maybe this is gonna get more clear to you on what's the difference between operating expenses and cost of goods sold. So here it says payroll, employee benefits, transportation, repairs, equipment, meals and entertainment, office supplies. What else could it be? If you pay an accountant, if you pay a professional, if you pay legal fees, if you what else could it be? You insurance, something is very important for you guys. Insurance, general liability, car insurance, workers' compensation, unemployment insurance, where if you pay payroll. Anything related to payroll goes here on the operating expenses. Rent, fuel expenses. So fuel as in gasoline, right? Internet services, cable. If you buy a computer, software that you use. I use certain softwares that I have to pay for. QuickBooks, that's an expense. What else could be an expense? The phones, exactly.
Would uniforms be in this one? Like clothing
Uniforms,
and all that?
uniforms, you said? Yes,
Yes.
yes, uniforms. Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Yes, it is an operating expense. So here, the next page is for you to write down what are your operating expenses. So your rent, your cable, your internet, software, office supplies. Say what? Parking, E470, like e-tolls. Business licenses, education, huh? There's 67. So actually, I already have all you guys' email. There's 67 types of deductions or expenses that could be used for tax purposes. So if you guys are interested, let me know. You guys have my email. All of you guys should have my email, and I could provide that to you.
I'll be emailing you then later. Thank you, Edith.
Okay. Yes, of course, Fatima. What happened to Megan? She left.
No, I'm still here.
I don't see you. Where are you?
I don't
Oh,
know.
I
can
see.
still see you.
Sorry, I see you now.
That's okay.
You're the only one with the camera, so that's why I missed you. Okay, does anybody need help on the Zoom call? Fatima? No? Megan?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Laura? Kia has been very shy today. I'm putting you in the spot. All right, so we're gonna give out 30 seconds here just to fill out. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect, okay? This is not your true profit and loss. This is just for you to kind of think about it, and that way you understand more what a profit and loss or what a statement is. When you talk to your accountant, your tax professional. Okay. ¿Está bien? La próxima parte. Okay. Anybody have a question? No? You would do. So like hotel,
Yeah.
that's an ordinary expense. Under, it would go under travel expense. Anybody have a question? No? Huh? Home office expenses, yeah. So one of the, you ladies that work, you know, from home and stuff, if you have an office at your house, so let's say that in your case, your home is worth, you know, $800,000. You divide, let's say for, you know, for easy numbers, let's say that your house is 1,000 square feet and your office takes 10% of that. So it would be whatever you pay for your mortgage. Let's say it's $2,000. You would pay 10% of $2,000, so it would be $200. Does it make sense? As a home expense. Or $5 square feet. But I prefer saying 10%, yeah. Because sometimes it's not convenient. And I'm a believer that the more you could deduct, the less taxes you're gonna pay, right? Okay. Alrighty, so we're gonna move to the next one. Obviously, the next thing is for you to kind of wrap up the numbers, see what's the total revenue that you receive, the total cost of goods sold, the total ordinary expenses, so we get our net profit. Do you guys have the number there? So it's this page right here. Megan, Fatima, Katie, Kia. Any questions? So calculate what is your revenue, calculate what is your cost of goods sold. So one of the things that comes up here is gross profit, right? So a lot of people say like, oh, that is my gross profit. What's the difference between gross profit and net profit? Gross profit it could be also considered just your revenue, right? That's your gross profit, whatever comes in. But your net profit is after expense. Okay. So a lot of people get a lot of hang up with especially I see it with, you know, now that a lot of people are influencers, TikTok or they do Bitcoin, they do all this new stuff, and they're like, oh, I make $1 million. Well, that's their gross profit. They're not telling you what is their net profit. And one thing that I like to say is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much money you make, but how much money you keep. Because you can make, especially like in construction, and I know you see this, they have projects of millions and millions of dollars, but their profit is 10%. Does it make sense? And in this case, with you guys that offer services, right, or fees, with people that offers fees, they have a bigger gap of net profit than someone that is in construction. Does it make sense? Ladies, does that help out? Yeah? Did you guys get your net profit?
Yes.
Yes. How come no, Fatima?
Because I need more customers.
That doesn't matter. No. Like, what is your net profit right now?
I came negative, so I don't have one.
Well, it's still a net profit, even if it's negative. Still, you have to still write it down, because there might be some months that are going to be positive, and there might be some months that are going to be negative.
Negative. Okay.
The expenses is bigger than the income, is because, you know, in the month, when you finish the month, there's some money left in your checking account. So that's the reason that you didn't feel like you were short of money, because you taken from past months or you got a loan. So that's the reason, the negative.
Another way to explain it is that, you know, we usually keep our money in the checking account, right? And then if we have 1 month negative, it becomes a negative in the profit and loss because it's how much money came in and how much money came out. But in your bank, it doesn't show the negative. Why? Because you had money from previous months. Does it make sense? No. No, just keep it in one account. Just keep things simple. It's just a matter of you to know what's in this month. This much money came in, and but this much money came out. You know, because especially with services and stuff, there's months that you receive. There's good months, right? It's, you know, our businesses are cyclical. There's good months and there's low months. Your case too. There's, you know, there's months that, you know, December or summer is your biggest month of revenue. But let's say January. Typically January through April is the months that are the less revenue comes in. Does that make sense? Now, again, I'm just talking in general. It depends on the business. There are some businesses that their money is, you know, secure and every month is the same thing. So, but the expenses might fluctuate. Let's say that 1 month you had to pay your car insurance for 6 months, because there's some people that do that, or your car insurance for the whole year. So there's gonna be more expenses with the previous. Does that make sense? Yeah. Am I losing you guys? I try to make things as simple as possible, but sometimes I get hiccups.
No, you're doing a good job. Thank you. That's very simple and very easy to follow.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for the feedback. Okay. So does everybody have your nonprofit? Yes? No? Maybe so? You don't want to see it? The what? The payments for the car or the truck? Yes. What, oh, hold on. I'm gonna, so when you say car payments, this is your personal card? The truck? Well, it's costing you to have that truck, so I would put it under cost of goods sold. Because if you pay more for your, let's say that you, for easy numbers, let's say that if you're paying $1,000 per month, right? It would change the cost of what you charge if it was $2,000, right? So it's cost of goods sold. Okay, so I'm gonna move along then. Does anybody want to share and be vulnerable with their nonprofit? No? Yes, no on the Zoom? Fatima's laughing. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, you're just putting us on the spot.
Sorry, I like to pick on you.
Yeah.
Not only 5 minutes, it takes, I don't know, 3 days or 2 days to get other numbers. But at least you have a little bit of how much you have in your head instead of what's the real numbers, because sometimes we use this technique when we go to do our taxes, right? We go and we don't get ready with the financial reports and everything. And this exercise is showing you how much you have left that you didn't add on the taxes too.
Okay, dokies. Thank you for that, Melissa. Okay, so we're gonna move along then. Another thing that I'm gonna skip this just because of time purposes. We only have about 15 minutes. So who here has a budget for their business? No?
No,
You started having a budget? Yeah.
I do.
Okay. Say what, Megan?
I do have a budget.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So one of the things that I sent out to I think it was Megan, Heidi, Laura, and Kia, is I sent you some links for providing you the personal. So I mentioned it at the beginning of the workshop, a personal budget that you could utilize, a net worth, and a business budget. Okay, I'll send that to you guys as soon as the class is over.
Just a quick question. So this is kind of like the same as QuickBooks, using those.
This is more for doing it in a manual basis. So obviously QuickBooks does your profit and loss, or does your budget for you, right? But
Yes.
personally, I like to have a budget. That way I know, okay, this month I'm expecting to receive this amount of money. And I keep it in a monthly basis. That way I know what are my good months and my bad months, but I'm budgeting. So I put when it comes to budget, it goes along with what is your goals. So my goal is this amount of money this month. Okay, I know for sure I'm going to receive this money, so I have to push myself to receive more money. So it's important to keep a budget, not only just to leave it to QuickBooks and, hey, I'm done. Because then there has to be a motive behind it, right? You have to be motivated to, being a business owner is already hard, and not being motivated to do more, then that's why people get out of business, because they're not, they're not motivated. Yes. Yeah. So again, I'm providing this to you obviously for free and stuff. It's for you to use it. Now, like every tool, I want to tell you, every tool, there's a lot of tools out there. But what matters is to take action. And I could provide you a million tools that I could use, but if you guys don't use it, then you're not going to get anything out of it, right? Does that make sense, ladies? Okay.
Yes.
So the next thing is this is a screenshot, obviously, for the budget, the business budget. If you have a cell phone, you could ask for it, and I'll give you permission to have access to it. This is all in your packet. But this is just an example, okay? And you'll have access to that one. All right. Let me see the next thing. Okay. So we are wrapping up. The workshop. Now we're gonna open Wade's apps. If you guys want to have a QuickBooks that is free to you, we could help you out here. Okay. So these questions, it is very important that if you do them right now, to do them right now, or if you want to prioritize and get the Waves app, then we'll do the Waves app. But please do these questions. Why? Because if we learn and we don't apply, then what's the purpose of wasting your time today? You know what I mean? So I know you have to leave. Yeah. Yes. And so I would like to keep this. Okay, that's why I'm requesting for you to fill it out. It should be one of the last pages. Thank you. I'll see you around. Ladies, if you could send me the last page for the module 5 in this case, I would appreciate it, because this is my feedback if you guys, learned, and if I teach you correctly.
Or if you don't know how to edit a PDF, you can just put in the email like module 1.1, this is the answer. 1.2, this is the answer. 2.3, for example, question 3, question 4. So it's gonna be easier for you guys to answer the questions on the email.
Got it.
Did you have a question, Fatima?
No, I was telling her, thank you for telling us how to answer it without the PDF, or if we have problems editing.
Awesome.
Hola Edith, ¿me escuchas?
Yes, I can hear you. With someone to hear, but yes, go ahead.
Soy Laura. Quería saber, yo para contestar este sheet tengo que salirme de la pantalla, o sea, y meterme a donde lo enviaste. Quisiera saber si tienes algún anuncio más o algo, si ya terminamos.
Lo siguiente que sería es para, ¿tiene un sistema de contabilidad usted ahorita o no?
No.
Ok, entonces es lo que vamos a hacer en unos 2 minutitos. Si quiere esperar, está bien.
Ok, perfecto. Gracias.
Sí. Do you ladies have a question? I think you're good. You're done? Yep.
And I think we're talking about the same one, like where you can take like.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you guys all signed up, right? The sign up sheet? Do you have it? Andy, have it? Go ahead, it's right over there. Do you have it? Sorry, Mrs. Martin. Now you. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty. Pretty zone done.
Edith, if you guys are saying anything in the classroom, on Zoom, we can't hear anything.
No, we're not saying anything. We're just talking. They're finishing up the questions. About 30 seconds, we're gonna start with the Waves app, okay? So hang in there.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Alrighty, so we're gonna get started. Are you guys ready? So I'm gonna start a business from scratch, okay? I'm gonna keep my back, but so I can see the screen. No lo quiero interrumpir, pero. 7:20, so 7:28, so. Okay. Sí, sí. Ajá. Va a conectar el phone una vez, pero no. Am I still sharing the screen, everyone? No. Okay, you're able to see there? Are you able to see my screen?
Google, yeah.
Yes, okay. Alrighty, so we're gonna go to wait. It's actually appearing here. So the website is www.waveapps.com. Alliance 1. Alliance 8 with the on the board, yeah. Okay. Let me know where you guys have it. You ready now?
So Adit, unfortunately, I'm working with my phone. Can I do this at a later date and just follow through with my, like, writing it down?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Alrighty, so does everybody have this in front of them? And for those who are just following along?
Yes.
So you're gonna get into this website and it says create your free account. So you're gonna put an email here. I'm just gonna put one. Sorry. So you're gonna put your email and then you're gonna create a password, okay? You're gonna put the password whatever you want. And then you're gonna create your free account. So here, then it's gonna ask you for the name. My name is Edith Garcia. What's my business? Compliance. What does my business do? So it gives you some industries. And if not, you could just put I make or sell a product or I provide a service. Okay? So in this case, I do consulting and professional service. Is everybody, let me know when everybody is done with this part. Okay, I'm gonna give out a minute. So you already have it. So she's actually
What I do like
So we have someone in the room who's already using Wave apps. So I'm asking her to kind of tell us her experience with it.
So, my experience with it so far is it's really good. You can actually create and invoice people, very professional looking invoices. And, I haven't done it before yet, but there's actually an option for you to, have recurring payments, through customers too. And the only thing that I know so far of that you have to pay for is they have like a little link that you can click on for, CPAs that are, kind of like on call for you. That charges like per hour, I believe. But other than that, then everything is free and it's very easy to set up. And it actually even sends reminders for your customers to pay their invoices. And let's see here, what else did I use on there? Yeah, mainly I use it for invoicing. People.
What about for bookkeeping?
Booking. Oh yeah, bookkeeping. I actually download everything. It actually right when you log in, there's a dashboard and it actually shows you all your numbers. It shows you the money that's coming in. It shows you you can actually download and actually export a lot of the stuff out of there too. So it's just really easy for you to go ahead and just kind of take your numbers off into like another platform, or just go ahead and give it over to whoever it is that you need to go and help you look at your finances. But it organizes everything too, which I thought it was really cool. Yeah, so
So
I
this
really like
is,
it, and it's all free.
that's good. Just a quick question. So this kind of replaces QuickBooks? It's like a platform same as QuickBooks or similar?
Yeah, it's pretty much QuickBooks competition, but this is free.
And so is there a point where you have to start paying, or it's like
Nope,
totally?
never. Unless the only thing that it charges you is if you wanna use one of their accountants, as she said. Obviously, I use this platform for businesses that are very starting, that they're my clients. The other thing that they charge you is if you want to do payroll within Waves, they're gonna charge you for that. But other than that, also if you make invoices and if you charge via credit card, they're gonna charge you like a 2.5%, just like a normal merchant. And if you do it via ACH, which is with their routing in bank account, it's only 1%. So that's pretty much what they're gonna charge you, but not for having the platform, if that makes sense.
Okay, is all the information that you link into this platform is secure?
Yes, it's secure. Yes.
Okay, and they don't sell your information to third party or?
No,
Okay.
I mean, I use it with my clients and stuff, so I recommend it. If that gives you peace of mind. Alrighty, so the next thing is it's gonna ask you about my business. So it tells you, okay, what is your starting point? Do you wanna send professional invoices? Do you manage your accounting? I always put not sure yet. That way it asks me this type of question. So are you currently in business? Yes, I am. I'm running it full time. The options is I'm just playing around with Wave. Yes, I'm running it part time. No, not yet. I'm launching it soon. It's just a matter of, they just want to know what part of the cycle in the business you are at. The next thing is how long have you been running your business? So over 3 years. What type of business is it? Is it an LLC? Is it a single member? Is it a multi-member? And I'm not sure. Do you have a business account? Yes, I have a business account. How do you usually pay for your business expenses? Both debit and credit equally. And I'm gonna stop there. That way you guys could continue. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna give out a minute. How about the people in the Zoom? Are you guys following
Yes.
along?
Yes, it says verify your email.
So they're gonna send you an email to your email, your verification email. Just verify that you have that email. Let me know in the chat room. I cannot see you guys. In the Zoom. Let me know when you guys are done. Is everybody done here? Yeah, you're done.
I'm done. Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one then. Okay, so it's creating your platform pretty much. And then I'm just gonna put, I verified my email. Oops, I have to verify it. 1 second. And then here, the next thing that I would suggest for you to do is go to your banking and then connect your bank account. So in this case is Chase. And it's gonna take you to your Chase login. So what's your username, your password? Of course, I have Chase, but let's say that yours is Wells Fargo. What bank do you guys use here? First Bank? First Bank is not in wait, unfortunately. So what you're gonna have to do is that you're gonna have to download your activity. For First Bank, you have to download your activity for within the bank, then upload it manually. Did it show up?
Yes.
Shows up now.
Because I tried it the other day with the. This is new. So yes. So yes. Thanks. I did it on Saturday. I promise I did it on Saturday and it did not work with First Bank. So this is good news. So any other bank you guys use? What about you guys? What bank do you guys use? Chase?
Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo? Is that Fatima?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Fatima. Alrighty, so it's gonna, same thing with Wells Fargo. It's gonna ask you for your username and password. So obviously I'm not gonna put my information here. I'm just trying to give you an example. But then you can start doing, reconciling your transactions, looking at all your transactions, categorizing them. Yes, exit. The other thing that that you could take advantage of is in invoices. So here you could do an invoice. So got it. And create an invoice. So obviously here you could, drop down your logo. You would put here on confines, this is my business. So you would put all the information, the contact, the phone number, the website, if you guys have a website. The next thing would be to add the customer. By adding the customer, you put the billing person, the email, the phone, the contact, the billing, the shipping, and doesn't let me go. But you pretty much put the information that you need here. And then you create an invoice. You can create an invoice number here. Or I always use the year, and then the month, the month, and then the date. What are we, the 15th? And then, and then what invoice I'm doing. And then here you can put the item, whatever it is. For example, let's say onboarding. And then I put onboarding here. New client.
I'm sorry, I got lost. Where do you go for invoices?
You go to sales and payments. I'm gonna go back.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, of course. So you go to sales and payments and then you see invoices.
Yes, I saw.
Okay. If you have a sales tax that you have to do, 3.5. Sales tax. And then you could write notes here. I don't know if it's this is new client. The footer, I usually put in the footer and the give 30 days. Okay. You could just write whatever you want, right? And then, oops, I have to add. I'm gonna put Melissa, Molina, info. It's a JM this. Lisa. And then the billing. Currency is USD, the billing is. Whatever, I'm just printing up a random one, obviously, so it can let me continue. And then here, this is the invoice that it gives out, and then you approve it. And then it tells you if it charges 2.9, actually went up 2.9% per transaction if it's Visa or Discover or MasterCard, and 3.4 if it's American Express, and you get paid within 1 or 2 days, and 1% if it's bank payments via the routing number and account number, and get paid out in 2 to 7 business days. Turn payments on. Then it's gonna ask you this, but for time purposes, I'm just skipping here. And then if you go here, see, it sends them a reminder after 3 days. If they haven't paid you, automatically it sends them a reminder after 7 days and 14 days. Okay?
Can you scroll down, please?
So something very important to remember is when you guys connect your payments into there, make sure that the bank is verified and then you actually that the payments are going in, because what happened was I assumed they were going in. And then and I was busy doing other stuff and I didn't check my emails. And what happened was if you don't verify it within a certain time, they actually just automatically they can't keep the money that customers are paying you in the account there. They'll hold it temporarily for you for I think like about 30 days or something, or 30 or 60 days, but then they have to automatically return it back to your customers. So if you aren't keeping up or making sure that your bank and everything is connected, which it should when you first do it, but if there's any sort of disconnection, because like you said, some banks, they have issues with the software and things like that, and you didn't know about it, they'll try to notify you, but like I had about $500 that was just sitting there from a couple clients. And then what happened was I didn't check it on time and it just got returned automatically to the customers, like their debit cards. And so, yeah, some of them were really nice and they're like, hey, I paid you, but it got returned back. Did you want your money back? And so it was pretty cool. But yeah, just to let you guys know, I had a little thing. That was like about a year ago, and I don't know if they still have the same business process, but that was something that happened.
I've had issues because I personally use Waves because for this business, because if I don't use it, how am I going to recommend it, right? So one of the things that I wrote down incorrect with the credit card, so I went through, and then 7 days later it told me, hey, this is the wrong credit card. So you just have to be, just like anything, you just have to be alert. Okay. Does anybody have questions? We're pretty much done here. I just wanted to, to provide you this tool for you that is free. Obviously, if you guys have any questions, you all should have my email, by tomorrow. And if you ever, need help or anything, Melissa and I are here. If you are looking for an accountant, obviously, please think of us first. And yeah, pretty much. Anybody else, want to add something or have questions? I'll ask the classroom first, ladies, and then and yeah, does anybody? Yeah.
So I know that it's the end of the year. When will you guys be opening for like grants for 2023 for applications and so forth?
It's not a question for me.
Oh.
That's a question for Andy. I think they should start in January.
Yeah, most grants usually start. Well, you apply now and then they kind of.
You can apply now.
Dates are in
They're
January.
not going to give you the
So
money.
just
till.
FYI. Do you guys do nonprofit taxes too, along with small
I
business?
do.
Okay, cool. I shall talk to you later.
That's all I wanted.
You know.
Questions?
Well, I just had a question because I connected it, but I can't see any transactions, so maybe there's still a glitch.
It takes time.
Oh.
So are you just turning that one in?
Yeah, both of those.
Okay.
It's not to withdraw money from you, like it's not gonna do nothing that you don't give permission to. The reason that it's asking for the bank login and everything is to get your bank transactions. Get a copy of your bank transactions and move it to Wave so you can classify it. So you can, instead of doing Excel sheet or a spreadsheet, so they grab it like copy and paste to your Wave, so you don't. That's the only reason it's asking for that information technically. Because I know people are like, why?
Yeah, this is just for your bookkeeping, so you could do your bookkeeping. Do you guys have anything to add? Anything, questions, anything? No? Okay. How about you, ma'am? Good, okay. Andy, sorry, I'm gonna ask the ladies if they have any questions. Do you ladies have any questions in the?
No, I just wanted to say thank you for the workshop. It was very good. I wish I could have taken this before I signed up for QuickBooks.
But you could cancel it. You could cancel it and utilize this one. It's up to
Do
you.
think, we pay for the entire year, so you think they will refund?
No, you whatever you pay, you already paid. But because it's the end of the year, you could also transfer everything that is in QuickBooks. You could transfer it to Waves.
Okay. Do they
So you-
have, do they provide like customer service if we have questions, things like that, or no?
their customer service is literally a robot. So you have to acquire, in order for them to help you out, you have to get one of their accountants. But I'll be more than glad if you need help. I'll be more than glad to help you out. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Megan, Fatima, Laura,